Alright, pause this refuse if I can. Alright, good to go. Let's set the table. Wednesday, May 8th, 8:45. Headed to a grocery store that's about 7 miles away from where we stayed last night. So probably a little closer to 5 miles now. Oh, bless me. Yesterday I didn't record a lot. It's actually pretty rainy toward the end of the day. So obviously I was kind of focused on getting where I needed to go and hanging with the group and stuff. My injury, though still a bit tender to the touch, didn't really flare up at all yesterday, nor did I take any ibuprofen for it. So I do think it's on the mend, which is great. That's always preferred. And let's see, what else? I think, I recorded yesterday up until we found that rattlesnake. So this actually got me thinking out here that I might write an article for the Trek the next time I'm at a computer, just for a hiker hack. The ability to listen to your music that's been created for stereo headphone experience. iPhones and Androids both have a setting in their accessibility setting area where you can actually make all stereo music get played as mono. So you can listen to left and right channels through one headphone. And, I think that's kind of important, that you leave one ear out, especially for us here on the AT. Now that we've already seen a rattlesnake in Virginia this early in spring, on the trail no less. There's a variety of benefits to having one ear open, whether it is looking for rattlesnakes, being able to hear members of your group, or being able to, keep an ear out for anything you might need to or want to listen to. I don't think many people know about that setting anyway. I introduced Pooh Bear and Forrest to it back, I don't remember where we were, but they were listening to music, and I heard them saying stuff like, you couldn't hear something that was happening because it was like, stereo. So one person heard it, the other person didn't. So I was like, I think there's a setting. And anyway, it'd be a really quick little tutorial to show how and where to find that setting. I'm sure most people don't know because most people aren't tech savvy. But in any case, we'll see what comes of that. I would need a computer in order to do this. And I don't know. Probably next opportunity would be the library. So maybe Daleville. Perhaps we could find one. Although, kind of doubt it. I think in Daleville, we're expecting to go to a cafe and post up there for a bit. But anyway, so we had a good day yesterday, despite the rain. Had this really big climb that led us up. And at the top, there was a nice trail angel woman. I don't remember her name. She was at the Four Pines Hostel. I think she was one of the owners. And she had sodas for us, which was really nice. I don't mean to look a gift horse in the mouth, but, beer would have been much more appreciated. But, I had a root beer, which I guess is halfway there. And it was great. And we made our way. And we got to the campsite. I'm trying to remember the name. Pickle something. It was close to a shelter. Pickle something. And we were setting up our tents and everything, and it started to kind of gently rain. And then it came a downpour. And poor Stretchman, who just recently bought a tarp for the footprint of his tent, his tent got soaked in the process of trying to set up, and it seems like it was because of the configuration of the tarp. And I have to say, though I wouldn't wish that upon anybody, in terms of sheer entertainment value, if there's one person you want to see go through that situation, it's definitely Stretchman. He was just so funny listening to him. Peak misery is what he called it. It was hilarious. But through group effort, we all kind of helped him out, towels and lifting up bits of the tent so he could pull the tarp out, and it was a mess. It was a chocolate mess, and it did eventually end up stopping raining. That's a lot of gerunds. It stopped raining eventually, and we all emerged and ate dinner, and I actually had to go to the privy, which was very unfortunate. Went in the dark. It wasn't bad. There was no problem with going to the privy in the dark, but it was pretty far away. So I had to walk in the darkness. I was just praying that I didn't see any reflecting eyes as I surveyed the land in front of me in the pitch blackness with my headlamp. But I didn't, and I made it. We're going to be crossing the 700 mile mark today. In fact, it should be really soon. I might miss it if it's not marked. I mean, I will miss it if it's not marked. But there's probably going to be some sticks or something that say 700. Yeah, man. So, woke up at like 6:45 this morning, listening to Stretchman move. Our tents were so close to each other that our stakes actually, like bits of his tent entered the vestibule of mine and vice versa. So that was kind of funny. We were super close. I could hear him moving around, and that kind of woke me up. So got up, packed everything, had some coffee, some food, a little bit of water. Siesta was there. It's a guy who's been we've seen him now I guess twice. He's a cool guy. No trekking poles, very tall, from Atlanta. Good natured, good spirited. So cool guy. And talked to him for a bit, headed out. Stretchman left first this morning. He said it was cold because he's a little bitch. And then Pooh Bear and Forrest, I guess they both wanted to get to the place quickly, the grocery store that we're going to. Neither one of them have very much water. Forrest yesterday said she's not good at planning, and they both had like a half a liter of water for 7 miles. I barely had I barely had a liter and a half myself, but even still I don't feel like I was underprepared, and I've got tons of food still, although we'll do a very small resupply at the grocery store to get us to Daleville tomorrow. But yeah, I just think it's funny, those two. I mean, yeah, it's just not my style. I'm not a free spirit. I'm not going to be doing something underprepared or unprepared, especially when it comes to food and water, because I know what it's like when you have food or water anxieties. It's not good. But to each your own, hike your own hike, drink your own drink, etc. So they left quickly, and I was behind Compton for a bit. We were talking, but unfortunately I had to go to the privy, or not the privy, I had to go have a movement again. 2 movements in less than 12 hours. I was hoping that going to the privy last night would sort of somewhat guarantee the fact that I wouldn't have to go again this morning, but such was not the case. So it is what it is, and yeah, what can you do, Just had to go. Bite the bullet. So now I'm out here hiking by myself. Still very wet, kind of itchy feeling with the wetness, and yeah, I smell like a smell I've smelled in Indiana before, like the smell of the inside of an old barn after it rains. Mom, if you're listening, perhaps you know what I'm talking about. It smells kind of like livestock and hay and maybe a little horse manure thrown in. It's a strange smell, but not as bad as the smells that I was smelling before taking that shower and doing laundry at Woods Hole. So could be worse. But yeah, going to the post office today, doing that little resupply, going to McAfee's Knob, hopefully with beer in hand, and should be a pretty cool day. It's going to be sort of a shorter day than usual, given all the errands we have to go and run. and the grocery store. And if it's nice, which it seems like it will be, we can hang out and drink beer on McAfee, which we're all looking forward to. But that will only happen if this place has beer, this grocery store we're headed to. And really is a 50-50 toss-up. You can't know. So that's how the day's looking. It'd be nice to cowboy camp again if it's really going to be a nice day. But man, rain out here. No pain, no rain, no main, as they say. It was funny because, maybe 15 minutes before the rain started in earnest yesterday, Pooh Bear mentioned that they hadn't had any rain since Damascus. And that wasn't the case for me, because that night, the day that I did the 24 miles to catch up with them, and ended up doing solo night hiking, and starting 14 miles of that 24 miles at 4 p.m., which was crazy. It rained on me quite a bit. All morning it rained on me, and then a little later in the evening it rained on me, and I had my rain stuff on for a while, which caused me to chafe as well. So now I've got some Osprey love marks on my hips that I have to wear my shorts really high in order to protect from further abrasion. Man. Anyway. Yeah. Things are good. Things are well. It's nice. I'm feeling rays of sunshine between the trees as I'm walking, which is always lovely after a day of rain. I think Rick Yates, who I believe his trail name was Wiley, I believe he said there was some 20-day period of time, I guess probably in the summer when he did his thru hike last year, where it rained 14 of the 20 days or something like that. Which that sounds like some terrible, terrible bullshit. Can only imagine. I'm keeping my fingers crossed for the driest AT on record. And I just keep saying that around people, and they're like, is it really? And I'm like, well, I don't know. I'm hoping. Just because it has been relatively dry so far. But, you don't really have any choice in the matter. And again, I just can't even imagine some of my family members trying to attempt this. I think they all could technically do it in terms of if they had to complete it, gun to your head kind of thing. I think that they would be able to successfully go the distance. But to be out here voluntarily and go through the day in and day out struggles, it's difficult. Which is another reason why I like sticking with this group, because I think we can go the distance together. Everyone is very good-natured. We're all still having fun, despite, the minor pains and, inconveniences and gear malfunctionings, etc. We're still doing well, and we're zooming through Virginia. Again, hitting mile 700 today. And Virginia started around 4:65 or so. So almost been in here for 250 miles, if that's correct. No, math isn't really my strong suit. But in any case, if that is right, that means we're halfway through Virginia, which is badass, because everyone's always talking about the Virginia blues, because it's the state you spend the most time in. So people can sometimes become discouraged because the benchmarks getting to different states, etc., are sort of punctuated, going through Tennessee, North Carolina, Georgia, all within the first month. You feel like you're making some real progress, seeing all those signs, welcome to Tennessee, welcome to North Carolina, etc. And so some people, especially if you're going slow, you can imagine for us, it's going to take 5 weeks to get through Virginia. So basically all of May, pretty much. I can blow my nose. Man. And If you were going half our speed, that could mean 10 weeks in Virginia, which 10, I mean, that's, what is that? Is that 2 months? Oh my God. I don't know. That's terrible. I don't know how many weeks are in a month. 6 times 7, 30 divided by 7. Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't matter. In any case, I see why the Virginia blues could be a thing, but we're going quick, and the only blue thing about this Virginian experience is the blue shift that occurs when light travels fast or whatever. So, with that, I think I'll go back to focusing on my music through one ear and heading toward the street, or the road crossing. I hope the grocery store and the post office are both on the same road in the same direction, because it would be a bummer if it was like, I know the post office is a mile off trail, and I think the grocery store is like point something, it's less than a mile, but if they're both in different directions, I might have to wait for my postcards until a later day, because I don't really want to do a 2 mile round trip just to drop off some postcards. So yeah, for now, that's the update, and this is going to be a good day. I can feel it. Can you feel it? I can feel it. Bye for now.